It's okay to be racist, as long as you hating on the Caucasians, teaching white kids that their shade's the same as school shooters and rapists. Maybe I'm tripping cause the white children have been getting taught that they got white privilege by the white guys in the high heels who identify as the white women. I'm not proud to be white, but I'm fine with it, cause I'm not allowed to have pride in it, cause the colonizers and the white bigots made white history my business. I ain't never gonna give a damn if you like me, I ain't gon' trip when they stereotype me. I'm a white boy and a white boy like me knows that all lives matter. Bite me. When I was younger they taught me to never see color, to treat every man as if he was my brother, but now that we're grown up we hate one another for all of the ways that we struggle and suffer. They coming for blood and we running for cover. The government wants us divided and dumber, addicted and drunk in the gutter, so we never wake up and never recover. Call me culture vulture cause I rap good, I don't pop Zans or smoke backwoods, but they call me a wigger and label me Hitler and hate like I'm wearing a Klan hood. It ain't left or right or black or white, it's good and evil. I leave folks hate normal people, united we stand and divided we fall. America, we gotta get real. You were segregated, that was not fair. You were enslaved, they did not care, but you were never on a plantation and my generation was not there. That's trauma in your DNA, causing what we see today. I pray to God you staying strong, don't wanna see no man in pain. You white folks, I'm embarrassed, some of y'all are such Karens. That prejudice you inherited was racism from your parents. Get that poison out your veins, whites and blacks are all the same. They want us in our graves, just let me try to explain.
Alright, stopping it there and welcome back to Mika Reaction Reviews, where reaction review to things on the internet. And we are finally returning to Tom Macdonald and Calhoun. It's been a minute. I actually have some catching up to do because they released a few videos since I have taken my hiatus from YouTube. This one is called Race War. Yes, Race War. There's a few things. First of all, the flow is good. The flow makes you want to bob. I mean, if you're not paying attention to the lyrics, of course I am, but the flow is really good. Good to see Tom Macdonald and Adam Calhoun back together again. I'm pretty sure they did an album together. This one he's saying he was raised to like love everyone like their brother, but now we live in an age of division. Divide, put everybody in their little boxes. You want to have diversity but no cultural bleed over or cultural appreciation or anything like that. You want diversity but also separation. Black graduations, black dorms, but diversity is our strength, right? I kind of grew up same, like in my family, my biological family is very pro-black, anti everybody else, especially white. You are the white devil. But also I grew up in a generation where they would talk about color blindness, like I don't see color kind of thing. And of course the neo-Marxists, the left, the progressives, the woke professors have tried to take that term and turn it ugly by saying people don't recognize cultural differences or appreciate cultural differences. That's not what I don't see color meant. I don't see color was Martin Luther King's dream of I judge you by the content of your character, not the color of your skin. We live in today's world, again, pushed by neo-Marxists, woke professors and stuff like that, college liberals, that color, your race is the most important thing, and that is what you should base everything off of. When you immediately meet someone, that's the first thing you should see, so you can know how to sort of tiptoe around, or how you should speak to them, or how you should, you know, act around them so you don't do like microaggressions or whatever. Right, you can tailor your speech correctly so you don't appropriate anyone. Honestly, as a black woman who's hung out with very white progressive people, it always just comes off as condescending. Please stop doing that if that's something that you do. It doesn't make anything better. Nobody wants to be treated like an other. So that's how I grew up. And right before Obama became president, I remember even reading an article about how like we were sort of starting to live in a like non-racist society or a colorblind society, which was portrayed in the article as a good thing because of integration and because of diversity. It's harder to hate someone when they're a neighbor, when they're your friend, when you're living in a very segregated population where you never interact with someone who's Muslim, or you never interact with someone who's black or Mexican, that you can live in these stereotypes and these sort of hatred because you have no human connection with that person. But when communities and neighborhoods and schools became more integrated, sort of those sort of stereotypes and the sort of that division, that wall that blocked you kind of went away. And so having a human connection with someone who's Muslim, who's black, who's Christian, who's Hispanic, sort of slowly, naturally rip those biases down, right? And I know a lot of conservatives and Republicans and traditionalists and Christians, not all of you, but some of you really hate diversity, and you don't think it's a strength, and you actually do think things should be divided and separated. And I understand the arguments towards that, because when you have a big group of people who have completely different morals and values than you, then it it is hard to live next to each other. But I do think there are parts of diversity that is good. Learning from each other, exchanging ideas, exchanging cultural differences and stuff like that, and have an appreciation for it. That's anyway the culture that I grew up in. It is sad today that we are more divided than ever, and like it's not even divided by black and white. You take these tiny little nuances that divide you, like black men versus black women, light-skinned black women versus dark-skinned black women, light-skinned black women with Afrocentric features versus light-skinned black women with Eurocentric features. There's all this division, and it's just divide and conquer. It's to keep us at each other's throat instead of actually paying attention to people who's fucking ruining our lives, right? Not ruin it, but don't have the best outlook for us. I kind of got on a longer rant for such a small part of the music video. The whole like, I was never a slave master and you're never a slave is something that I very much harp on. People, because I'm black, I should still hold on to that same anger and that same oppression as if I was a slave. And I will still say it and stick to my thinking on that. It is extremely disrespectful to try to appropriate the suffering of a slave, because neither you or I, if you're black or any other black person exists, knows the pain and the suffering that slaves went through. So I think it's extremely disrespectful to try to use epigenetics and all that bullshit to try to make it seem like I understand what it's like to be a slave. You do not. And what's really going on is this sort of generational trauma that's passed down to you from the older generation. Like my family, like I said, who was very pro-black, very anti-white. They're the ones who told me I was another. They were the ones who told me I was oppressed. They were the ones that pointed out my black skin and how that would negatively affect my life. They didn't have to do that, but they did. It's a sort of generational trauma that we tend to pass down to our children and to the younger generation as a way of a cautionary tale and protection. But what it usually do is you're taking your chip and your resentment and your anger and your trauma off your back and you're putting it onto your children's back and you're passing it down to the next generation, and that's some shit that needs to fucking stop, right? Anywho, even if there was white people that were alive today that had some lineage to slave masters, most white people today don't have that, because owning slaves back then was a rich, privileged thing. It was a higher class thing. If you're a lower class, if you're poor, most likely you didn't own slaves. Now you can have the argument that maybe they benefited from slavery and slave labor because they just lived during that time, but only a small percentage of white people actually own slaves. So trying to blame all white people for ancestry that they probably may not even have is fucking ridiculous. Anywho, I talked for a really long time. Let's continue.
I swear they want us in a race war, dying every day for whose lives matter more. I won't be dying in the race war. Our government is paid for, 'cause our lives matter more. If you born black, you lose. Might as well go get that. You gon' die before you 25, get shot over your shoes. You gon' get killed by police even when you follow the rules. If you listen to the news, you gon' believe all this is true. I ain't feel no white guilt. They don't ride for me when I'm killed. I guess white lies don't matter, sad, but that's the way that I feel. I feel like they feel like I don't know what they all call me. Cis white male, bigot racist, he's a Nazi. That's not me. I'm not one of these white liberal commies who think black America needs allies in they army. Your neighborhood's all gated, claim you pro-black, but you faking. Guys are dying on the pavement. All your hashtags won't save them. That ain't gangster. People begging for their life still. I know white people who can't afford to pay their light bill, who might feel like they the ones who me try to explain.
Alright, stopping it there. Adam Calhoun came in hard. Again, the bars are really, really good. The flow is really, really good. He started off sort of going like, well, if you're black, then you're gonna be shot by the cops and go to jail. You're gonna be dead on the street. Like, basically saying like the narrative for black people is your life is going to suck unless you depend on Big Daddy government to help you, right? And I've said this before that I think the biggest dupe to the black community is this sort of victim mentality, victim culture, victimhood, because it keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck. If you keep living in the past, you never move forward. It keeps you stuck and it keeps you dependent on the government or activist or whatever, right? I don't know why there's a large amount still of the black community that thinks the best thing to do for little black girls and little black boys is to raise them up with the narrative of telling them the world hates you, life is against you, people hate you because of your skin, no matter how much you try in life, no matter how successful or talented you are, you're gonna still be looked at as downtrodden and nothing and beneath everyone else, and you know, like this really horrible, like oppressed victim narrative that is like, why would anybody want to try? Why would anybody want to pursue life? Because you're constantly being told you can't because you're black. Again, the narrative that I can't because I'm black came from my family. I grew up in households that espouse that narrative. It didn't come from my white teachers or the professor or the person on TV or the media. It came from my family. My family told me that. And luckily, God made me in a way that I just didn't listen to that and I just moved past that. But a lot of people listen to it. I've seen tweets and comments from black girls and young black people saying, I can't do that because I'm black. Society's never gonna let me succeed. Society's never gonna let me do that. So why would you try? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. I tried to say that 3 different times. That's why I said it really slow. I actually watched a Jubilee middle ground video, like, you know, the Jubilee. And they talked about strict parenting and free parenting, right? And there was a black mom on there. I think she was maybe a single mom. I'm not sure. She had a black kid. And she said she can't teach her kid to be free-spirited because black people can't be free-spirited. Basically, black people can't be free. How do you think that narrative affects the mentality and the psychology of your black child? I don't understand why we keep going on with this. I'm the most free fucking spirited black hippie you fucking know. And I did it because I wanted to. No one stopped me. I'm traveling the fucking world. I have been doing that for 8 years. I own my own business. I created the life I want. No one stopped me. My blackness, my gender, my sexuality, nothing stops me. Because I just had that mindset that nothing was gonna stop me. If I can't do something, it's because of my own lack of ability, right? But you sit there raising little kids and telling them, oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to do these things. Doesn't matter if you're in a hood or a suit, this cop's still gonna hunt you down. I don't know why. I don't know why we decided to go along with this. It's the biggest dupe ever. I hope we stop. Black people are waking up, but we need to wake up a little bit faster. Anywho, so I liked that little spot that Adam Calhoun went on, and the whole like they want us in our grave. I'm starting to get why that's the chorus. It goes along with the title of the video, race war. They want us at each other's neck. If we kill each other, they don't got to. We just do their job for them. If we keep each other down, if we keep each other's angry and our stress levels up and our fucking cortisol levels up and keep ourselves mentally and physically unhealthy, then it helps their job. The higher ups, the elites, the media, Hollywood, the government, they don't care about us and they don't have either of our best interests at heart. It doesn't really matter what race you are and what color you are. And by the way, race has nothing to do with who you are. It's more cultural than your skin color. You can be black and have Japanese culture, and you can be white and have hood culture. It's culture, not race. That really fucking matters at the end of the day. But anyway, let's continue.
I swear they want us in a race war, dying every day for whose lives matter more. I won't be dying in the race war. Our government is paid for, 'cause our lives matter more. They want us in a race war,
are dying in the streets. Should be us against them, but it's you against me. Ain't nobody gonna win, everybody gon' see that the color of your skin don't change the color that you bleed.
I swear they want us in a race war, dying every day for whose lives matter more. I won't be dying in the race war. Our government is paid for, 'cause our lives matter more.
Alright, go download Brave 2 on Amazon. My battery is about to run out, so I'm gonna peace out. I really love that song. It reminds me of White Boy and other songs that Tom Macdonald had made. But the message needs to continue, and it needs to continue to spread, because we need to unify, not divide, guys, because we love each other. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, donate, support the channel, and you guys have an amazing day. Bye!
I swear they want us in a race war, dying every day for whose lives